Yeah, you did. I saw it. Thank you. I totally forgot. You know, we estimated we netted $9,000.
No,
That's great counting.
You did good. We did, yeah.
Amazing. She knows how to do this. She knows the right contact. She knows how to.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like a new day.
Mm-hmm.
We sprinkled and
Sure.
Yes, you are.
Has everyone signed up to speak who wants to sign up? Is everyone signed up to speak? Welcome, everybody. We're just missing our city secretary. Notice is hereby given pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act, Government Code, Chapter 551, that the city of Smithfield will conduct a council meeting and public hearing on February 9th, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers of City Hall, 317 Main Street, Smithfield, Texas. I call this meeting to order. Councilman Jenkins, take it away.
You'll bow your heads, please. Father, we thank you for this day and this gathering of people in our chamber, that we could have open minds and open hearts and listen to one another. Guide this council as we make decisions. Make sure that you are on our shoulder and guiding us and teaching us. It is in your Son's name that we pray. Amen.
Next item is the recognition, awards, proclamation, announcement, and presentations. Proclamation for African American History Month. Whereas the citizens of our community have long been aware of the historic achievements and contributions of individuals, and whereas the linkage of these contributions to education is recognized, and whereas without a strong, free, great nation, these contributions would not have been possible. And whereas we recognize and appreciate the cultural, the language, the lifestyles, the diversities, and corresponding aesthetics values of all Americans, including African Americans, and whereas all of these contributions have made our city, state, and nation the great society it has become. Now, therefore, I, Sharon Forrester, serving as mayor of the city of Smithfield, do hereby proclaim February as African American History Month, and urge all citizens and institutions of the city and community to reaffirm their commitment to promoting awareness of and appreciation for the African American heritage and its place in American society. Thank you. Number 5, approval of the minutes from the January 12, 2026 council meeting and public hearing, January 27, 2026, special call council meeting. Have any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the January 12th, 2026 council meeting and public hearing, and the January 27th, 2026 special called council meeting minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and second. Councilman Dunham,
Yes.
Meek,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Jameson. It is approved. And at this time, I'm going to move to number 26. Closed meeting. State to the council while we're going into closed meeting. The city council will hold an executive session pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, Government Code, Chapter 551, in accordance with the authority contained in Section 551074 to discuss personnel, interim city manager, and the mayor. Well, time is 6:05. All right.
Yes, we did.
PP break before we go? I'm good. Okay.
I don't know if we have to say it.
I'll just say. Discussion and action as a result of the executive meeting be no action taken. So we go back to we approved the minutes, right? And now we're on number 6. Who's my first one signed up for public comment?
Jenny Bush.
Jenny? Jenny? There she is. State your name, please.
Jenny Bush, 204th Avenue, Queen of the Hill. I'm just commenting on process and how it gets very uncertain because we don't have a printed newspaper to post these meetings and hearings and public announcements. I know we have information being available to us through the website and to sign up for Notify Me, but that's not effective because it's not, and if the information hasn't been effective with the full population, it's just those who maybe attend here, learn about it. And I just wanted to just point out that there's been a lot of citizen and neighborly commenting and correlation between each other on ideas and needs in the community. And that, so when you hear from some of us, I don't want it to look like you're hearing the loudest, but what you're doing is hearing a compilation of a lot of viewpoints through people like myself. And I understand, and I've canvassed our audience today, that there are other people here speaking forward and coming up that you might have never met before. And I hope that you'll be receptive to them for their first time visit, and receptive to people like myself who've been here before, that I'm not just speaking for myself. I just wanted to talk about process. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Next, I have Derek Barnowski.
Derek? Welcome, Derek. Will you introduce yourself and
Derek Baranowski, 400 Wilkes. I've been a member of this community since 2008, coached here a lot. Currently play baseball on the Hill. The only way I'm for this is if there is a drastically improved proposal from LCRA. If you're familiar with them, they're very big on community and parks and whatnot. The 75,000 for a 50-year lease is like insulting, surprisingly, disgustingly low. I would suggest it's a full rebuild of the baseball field on the Hill, new lights, the fencing, the refurbishing of the building, concessions building if possible, if that's safe and feasible, if not replacement, and also new lights at the MLK Little League fields as well for both baseball fields. If you're familiar with the MLK fields, the softball field has new towers. They're galvanized, excellent lights. In representing the Sandlot community, we play baseball up there. We've got teams coming in from Temple, Lockhart, Austin, Bastrop, even Houston. And there's not a huge group that comes out here, and I think a lot of that has to do with the shape of that field. It's in pretty poor disrepair. The fencing, it's kind of dangerous in some ways and such. The upkeep is basically non-existent. Our team managers literally mowed it several times for us to practice and play on. And so I think the amount of money that they've offered for this community, I know a lot of these folks are against this, and that's fine. I would say it needs to be much greater amount of money spent replacing lighting for that field, the fencing itself, the building up there, the fields at MLK that need new lights because they do, like the hill lights, they don't work. They've robbed those lights for the MLK fields. So you've basically got 3 baseball fields that need better lighting. When I was coaching here, the city would have to come out and adjust those lights, before each season because they're old towers and they're in poor condition. But that being a public park, there are about 30 of these teams in Austin. We could have a lot more people coming to play games there. It's great for the businesses. When we finish a game, we'll go hit the brewery or whatever. They, hang out for a while, spend some money, getting some beer, getting some food. And like I said, other teams coming in from other towns. I think it's a great thing as long as the money's right. And this isn't even anywhere close. It's insulting is what it is. That's
Thank you.
Next, I have John Schindler.
Mr. Schindler, where are you? Up there he is.
Now we gotta,
You know the drill. Please introduce yourself.
we gotta fight with this thing again too, don't we? It's on? Okay, my name is John Sherman. I live over in Colorado Street Boulevard, whatever in the world it is. But, back when I was young, I guess that was a long time ago, we talked about the aliens out there in the universe and we all had to wear tin hats. Sometimes I feel like I need my tin hat. Things are starting to go crazy with a lot of things that are going on. Back in incidentally, I talked to your wife out there a long time. Really intelligent lady. I hope you pay attention to her sometimes. So, don't answer that one, huh? So back in 1946, they used to teach etymology in all the schools. She knew what that was. And they quit teaching it. I had the misfortune of going to Central Catholic in San Antonio where they taught Latin. So we still got one of those 3 languages. We're being taught, and we found the meaning of words and how to look into things. So looking at what's going on with city council right now, it kind of reminds me of who is that congresswoman that's from California that about 90 years old, needs to retire. The one who said, hey, on the Patriot Act, well, we need to sign it so we know what's in it. And how's that fared? So sometimes I wonder with you guys right here, when we get an agenda, have y'all read the agenda? Have you done the research behind it? Do you know what the law is that says these things? And sometimes I have some meetings, I want to talk to folks and, you're on your cell phone or take a call and I forget where I'm at. And I say, yeah, man, what were we talking about? And oh my God, you didn't know either. So now there's 2 of us. So I think Paul Newman said it best back in Cool Hand Luke. He says, what we have here is a failure to communicate. And I would really appreciate it since you guys are in a republic that is supposed to be protecting my rights and everybody else's rights here, that y'all know to the nth degree what y'all are talking about when y'all vote on something. So that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Who's next?
That's it for the public comment.
All right, we move on to. Did you sign up?
No, this is number 6. But
We're on number 6.
she was wanting number, okay, yeah, she put number 5, so no, that's okay.
Oh, welcome. Will you please introduce yourself?
My name is Donna Ding. I live on Northeast Seventh Street. I was here last week. Basically, I just have I send you guys some emails in terms of my questions. So for the sake of clarity for this community, I have some questions I want to pose, so it be in this public format. Number one, 75,000 for a 50-year lease. That translates to $125. $125 a month for the next 50 years for LCRA. So how will this benefit the city of Smithville? What investment return analysis was performed prior to considering this proposal? This is similar to the questions that the gentleman before me have asked. Have you guys done your research? Because these are the answers I'm looking for when I come here. Number two, what market trend analysis was performed to determine anticipated percentage gain or loss in property values when a communication tower is installed? Research is out there. Go look it up. It's out there. Talk to realtors. I know we had Jeannie Ralph here, realtor. Who else is realtor? We have a couple of people. Talk to them. And so when you have a loss in real estate, how does this translate to revenue gain or loss for the city in terms of our tax? Because you need to look at long-term, not just, okay, here's $75,000 for the next 50 years. To me, that is ridiculous. The gentleman here mentioned that. Now, I would like to know what is the anticipated loss and how does this translate to in terms of our taxes? Because when you have a loss of revenue, you're going to be looking at dipping into our pockets for taxes. What is the citizen like me, and especially somebody who's retired, what are we looking at? We're not getting any more money. So this affects me tremendously. So all those people say, I don't live on the tower. It's going to affect you. When the taxes hit, it's going to dip into your pocket. Number five, has the city of Smithville attorney combed through the fine prints to see who will be responsible legally for the financial compensation when you start seeing health issues? Now, unlike that gentleman before me, he's willing to look at increasing value, having the LCRA do some stuff for us, but there's consequences to this stuff. Health issues, go look it up. The insurance, I'll continue. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, we move on to hearing recommendations from planning and zoning. Welcome, Caroline Noya. On a minor replat dividing one lot into two for parcel number 18422 Riverdale Block 1, Lot 4B, acres 0.494, outlot 7, Lot E, half of 6, property owner Herta Investments, agent Connor Herta.
Right, we met the planning and zoning meeting, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. We met last Tuesday about this. The address is 1408 Northeast 8th Street. It goes through the block to 7th Street. And it's the back of the lot that they want to subdivide to have, the property meets all the setbacks. There is a building on the property. Once they divide the lot, it will be within the boundaries for the setbacks for the shed that they have back there. There were no complaints, no comments, no objections. It was passed unanimously by the planning and zoning recommendations to pass it. Any questions?
Hang on a minute.
So it's just the bolded area you're splitting in half.
Correct.
Okay.
It's just to divide, and it'd match all the other lots that were on the back there. There's already a fence on the 7th Street side that meets the 25-foot setback.
Everybody good?
Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. All right, I close the open meeting and I go into public hearing and I call it to order. Jennifer, has anyone signed up to speak? No one's, everybody good? All right, so I close the public hearing and I go back into the open meeting. Council and discussion on a minor replat dividing one lot into two for parcel number 18422 Riverdale Block 1, Lot 4B, acres 0.494, Outlet 7, Lot E, half a six, property owner Herda Investments, agent Connor Herda. Any questions?
Would you like a motion?
Give it to me.
I make a motion of approval on a minor replat dividing one lot into two for partial number 18422 Riverdale Block 1, Lot 4B, acres .494, Outlook 7, Lot E, half of 6, property owner Herda Investments, agent Connor Herda.
I second.
Oh, hello. Motion been made in second. Councilman Dunham,
Yes.
Meek,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson. It is approved. Thank you, guys. Next one is discussion and action on a resolution for change in parkland use for LCRA agreement for a self-supporting communication tower for only a 100-foot by 100-foot area. Okay, public,
I have, first we'll do Jenny Bush again.
Jenny?
How about Thomas Everbush?
Thomas, are you here? Welcome, Thomas. Please introduce yourself.
One second. Good evening, members of council. My name is Thomas. I live on 4th Avenue, directly adjacent to the proposed cell tower site. I strongly oppose this installation. A tall cell tower in a residential neighborhood would mean major eyesores, disrupting character of our homes and blocking views that residents value. Multiple peer-reviewed studies, including one in the Journal of Real Estate Finance and Economics, show that properties near cell towers, especially within visibility range, can decline in value 2 to 10% or more, making it harder for families like mine to sell or refinance. This isn't just speculation. Real estate experts and surveys confirm that visible towers deter buyers and reduce market appeal. As a local beekeeper, I am deeply concerned about the potential negative effects on bee populations. Emerging research, including studies on radio frequency, electromagnetic fields, have shown disruptions to honeybee navigation, homing ability, pollination behavior, and overall colony health, effects that would harm local pollinators critical to our gardens, farms, and ecosystems. There are also better alternatives available, such as co-locating antennas on existing commercial structures or utility poles further from homes, which could achieve the needed coverage without imposing these burdens on our neighborhood. While many residents, myself included, I have concerns about potential health effects from long-term exposure. Given the World Health Organization's classification of radio frequency as a possible carcinogenic, and studies linking proximity to issues like sleep disruption, I recognize federal limits on using health as a sole basis for denial. However, these broader community impacts on property value, aesthetics, quality of life, and our local environment are valid local reasons to deny and require modifications. For these reasons, I urge council to deny this application or mandate and do a thorough review of less intrusive options to protect our residents, neighborhoods, and pollinators. Thank you for your time and for hearing our voices.
Thank you.
Next, I have Brian Wells.
Mr. Wells? Welcome.
Thank you. Can I get situated before you start the timer? Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Brian Wells, and I live on the Hill at 102 4th Avenue within a 10-minute walk of Calgar Park. I'm speaking in opposition to agenda items number 12 and 13. I ask that you would vote no to each. The proposed change in use in item number 12 is explicitly for the purpose of conveying an easement to the LCRA as described in item number 13, but the proposal to convey the easement appears to be non-compliant with Texas Local Government Code 253.001 subsection B, which requires that, quote, land owned, held, or claimed as a public park may not be sold unless the issue of the sale is submitted to the qualified voters of the municipality at an election and is approved by a majority of the votes received at the election. Also, the Texas Attorney General guidance confirms that this code section applies to an easement or any other legally recognized property interest being conveyed. The law provides only narrow exceptions, such as for coastal cities, none of which apply to the city of Smithville. Also, the change in use of parkland appears to be in an attempt to bypass the state law, but Attorney General Opinion number 97057 explicitly rejects efforts by cities to circumvent Chapter 253 through administrative actions. In fact, it clarifies that even if a city changes the use of parkland, Chapter 253 of the law still applies, requiring the public vote. Texas Municipal League legal guidance also reflects this strict interpretation. Finally, this proposal is subject to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Code, Chapter 26, Section A. It prohibits any state municipality, cities, from approving any such taking of public parkland unless the municipality determines that, quote, there is no feasible and prudent alternative to the use or taking of such land, and two, the program or project includes all reasonable planning to minimize harm to the land as a park recreation area resulting from the use of taking. The city statements in tonight's resolution fall short of the law and the letter of the intent. For example, if two locations within the park are proposed, there cannot be a location that has no feasible or prudent alternative by definition. Also, communication tower or siting and routing is based on complex optimization and avoids any situation where there are no feasible or prudent alternatives. The city is not qualified to make any such determination and cannot in good faith state what is included in the resolution. Finally, unless the 0.23 acres being taken will be available for parkland, the city cannot state that it has performed all reasonable planning to minimize harm to the park. These state laws were enacted to prevent cities from doing this very thing, bartering away its most valuable assets, its public parkland. I encourage the city council to comply with both the letter and the spirit of these laws and act in the best interest of its citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Next, I have Donna Ting, and also just to let you know that some of these people have signed up for 12 and 13, but it's going to be repeat people, so. Repeat people, not repeat thing. I said repeat people.
Donna Ding, Northeast 7th Street. Continue where I left off. My question was, has the attorney combed through the fine prints, or our city of Smithville attorney combed through the fine prints to see who will be responsible when health issues start popping up? Is it the city of Smithville or is it RCRA? Now, you may or may not be aware, there are damaging health consequences. And while it's debatable based on public opinions, the strongest argument I have for this is this. Do you know that insurance company won't even cover the damaging consequences from radiation from the cell towers? And that's pretty standard. So is our city going to be left holding the bag when people start having health issues? Because our bodies are different. There are people who's going to be more sensitive than others. You know, I send to you guys, it's like the canary in the coal mine. They used to send canaries into the mines to see what the air quality is. Well, there are people here in town, I mean, our neighbors whose body are more sensitive. They pick up on the damaging consequences of cell towers. I was telling somebody, I personally, when I hold a cell phone in my hand, within a few minutes, I could feel what it does to my hand. It's not comfortable. I'm constantly reminded, so I try not to be on my phone. Unfortunately, I have to do a lot of research when it comes to preparing to come speak to this because I feel very strongly about this. This is our neighbors who's going to be harmed by this. This is our kids who's going to be harmed by this. When people are getting cancer, when getting all kinds of health issues, I mentioned, I have been studying health It just interests of mine, living healthy, including diets, including our environment. When I bought my house here, I look for, I mean, for my first, I was living in Bastrop. I look for houses in Bastrop. I look for, is there a cell tower? Are there electrical power lines in the neighborhood when I buy this house? I rejected many, many houses because of that. And I know I'm not the only one. Other questions I have? Seconds. There's a 400-acre private ranch that is being populated with exotic games in this area. So how will this tower affect them? Kind of going back to the bee issues, there are wildlife, there are things that we depend on. This is not only affecting people, this is affecting our ecosystem. Are there studies that I'll continue the next one.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, Jenny Bush.
Jenny?
Okay, for the record, Jenny Bush, 204th Avenue, Queen of the Hill. On this particular, I'm going to come back on 13, okay? Or 4, yeah. But at this particular time, I want to reiterate that a resolution is part of the process of this this lease. And in this lease, a resolution, it talks about that LCRA will indemnify the city for any damages. And the question is, what does that mean? Is that damages to the ground or the bushes or the trees or what? Has anybody considered the damages to my health? I am a chemically sensitive person, and environmental radiation does affect the chemicals that are in our foods and in the water, the soil, the air we breathe. And I know because my own daughter was subject to, during pregnancy, at the end of her pregnancy, she was living in Austin where they put a smart meter on her wall that was on the other side of her bed, headboard of her bed. She ended up in the hospital because the baby's heart rate was having a stroke, whatever it is, I don't know medical terms, but they had to give her medication that you would give an adult whose heart was beating too fast. And this happened twice to her. And when she was able to move and get out of that house, the baby was fine. So I know in my own personal life that I would be affected. So I want to know how I'm going to be indemnified by LCRA for my health issues that might occur. And speaking not just, I've heard this from, I'm also here representing, because I've spent time talking to my neighbors. I think I did a good effort. I went out and put flyers out. We put out message boards, and we went on all the social media. And no, I didn't have anybody who say they were positive about this. There was always something that was affecting them personally. And I'm representing a lot of people who wouldn't come up here tonight, couldn't come up here tonight, to say that this is something we need you to say, no, we don't need you in the city. $75,000 not going to do us any good. Goodbye. And that shouldn't have been the first issue anyway. It should have just been, what is good for the citizens? And this is not good for us. Please say no. Move out. Thank you.
Next, I have John Schindler.
Thank you. Mr. Schindler, where are you? I hear him. Please introduce yourself. Pick up the mic because you're tall.
Pick up the mic. John Schindler, 1007 Colorado Street, Smithville, Texas. I think you're all made up your minds now. Anybody who votes for that tower needs to be recalled for an election. I tell you, we had some powerful speakers come up here, guys. They had a lot of good things to say. So one of them mentioned something about the radiation being possibly carcinogenic to humans. That's a group 2B by the Health and Human Services. It was back in 2011, they said it was possibly carcinogenic to humans. That's the same category as lead and DDT. Now, here's the most telling thing I've been able to find so far. It's this article that was written, Safety Claims, What's the Government's Sudden Shift on Wireless Radiation Means for You. I'd like to be able to read the whole thing. I'd like y'all to look it up. I'll tell you where to look it up and you can read it. So I'm just going to read you the first page. It says, for years, anyone who questioned whether the radiation from their phone, laptop, or Wi-Fi router might be affecting their health was told the same thing. There's no proof. The science doesn't support it. You're being paranoid. Then, quietly, without any announcement, the FDA deleted their web pages saying cell phones aren't dangerous. They deleted that. This was back in January of this year, just a few weeks ago. Let's see, where was I at again? And the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services launched a brand new federal study on cell phone radiation and health. This isn't a rumor. It's not speculation. It happened in January 2026, and major outlets, including Reuters and the Wall Street Journal, reported on it. So what exactly changed, and what does it mean for you? Let's break it down. What the FDA actually removed. The FDA had previously stated on their website that the weight of scientific evidence has not linked exposure to radio frequency energy from cell phone use with any health problem. That page is gone. Man, if the government can figure out they just might have made a mistake, let's not us make the same mistake. I think it's what, 5-0 vote coming up here pretty soon? God, I hope so.
Thank you, Ms. Schindler. Next.
Cassidy Penn, do you want to talk on this one or the next one, or do you just want to wait? The next one, okay. That's it for item number 12.
Okay, so. Discussion and action on a resolution for a change in parkland use for LCRA agreement for a self-supporting communication tower for only a 100-foot by 100-foot area. Want to make a motion? Do y'all want to hear from LCRA? Where do we want to go from here?
I would be enlightened to hearing any comments from my colleagues before I make a statement of my own.
Go for it.
You want me to go for it?
Go for it.
Is LCRA here, that, they're
Yeah,
here?
she's right there.
Okay. Mhm.
You want me to wait? I'm just making a statement. I'm not
I'd
making a
prefer to
motion.
hear from LCRA if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Miss Elizabeth? Oops,
There we go.
are you on? You're on. Thank you.
All right. My name is Elizabeth Ehlers. I am the Regional Affairs Rep for LCRA for your area. So thank you for allowing us to speak here tonight. I would like to tell y'all a little bit more about what we're proposing and help answer some of the questions that we've heard from the community. I can go into a little bit of the history just so that that's talked about a little bit as well. So as you all know, on December 8th, council had an agenda item to discuss this easement agreement. During that meeting, the project was discussed, but it was determined that a Chapter 26 hearing would need to take place in order to continue with the easement in Kilberg Park. The city of Smithville ran all the required notices for that hearing, and on January 27th, there was another public hearing to discuss the easement. There was no action taken at that.
Bother you to move closer to the microphone, please.
There was no action taken at that meeting due to the community concerns that we heard. So let me speak a little bit to what we're actually proposing. We're requesting an easement of 100 by 100 fully fenced-in area for a new telecom tower. That will include a small shelter next to it that helps house the equipment, which includes backup power for it. As you're all familiar with the site, this proposed location is south of the field, right next to the existing water tower and not far from the existing American cell tower. Serving the Texas communities that we live, work, and play in is one of LCRA's top priorities. One of the ways that we're able to do that is LCRA Telecom partners with our customers to share the critical infrastructure that our crews and public safety professionals utilize on a daily basis. Our telecom system currently covers 68 Texas counties and has 200 telecom customers that include first responders, utilities, cities, counties, school districts, and transit authorities. Adding this tower will only help to strengthen the connectivity and resilience of our system while giving way to new opportunities such as a mission-critical push-to-talk radio and new infrastructure capabilities such as those for utilities like the City of Smithville. The deployment that we're proposing will be a private LTE system. LCRA's private LTE network adheres to established electromagnetic frequency, or EMF, exposure limitations set and monitored by the Federal Communications Commission, or the FCC. Licensed professional engineers ensure designs are safe to the public based on extensive and recognized scientific research and exposure limitations for radio frequency, RF, non-ionizing radiation. Deployments like the one LCRA is pursuing comply with these standards. This particular tower will meet all FAA and FCC requirements, as well as comply with all federal regulations such as the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA. And we will obtain concurrence from the state and tribal historic preservations offices that the tower does not affect historical properties. We have not yet determined the height of this tower. We will do that in consultation with the FAA due to the proximity of the site to the airport. This tower can be anywhere from 190 feet to 320 feet. There have been some questions as to why this location. This site was chosen because it meets engineering requirements necessary to address existing coverage gaps and capacity demands in the surrounding service area. Its elevation, geographical position, and proximity to existing infrastructure allows the tower to function efficiently. LCRA has explored alternative locations to this one, public and private. However, they were determined that to be less suitable due to access or other limitations. Some of the additional questions that came along with this conversation are, why is the American cell tower that is close by not being considered? The answer to that is that the tower is fully occupied and will not be able to provide the coverage that we need in the area. Another question that was brought up was, why not the one near Buescher State Park? Again, the existing tower near Buescher State Park is away from the area that we need for our coverage. And finally, in regards to location, why is the cemetery not the best option? Constructing a tower within a cemetery presents significant additional challenges, in part due to statutory protections for these areas. In addition, there is not much space in the cemetery, and that is the reason why the city and LCRA representatives decided to move away from that location in original discussions. To touch briefly on the cost, I want to reiterate that the proposed value is based on market value, or a market analysis, ensuring alignment with current market conditions. That proposal again is $75,000 for a 50-year easement. Thank you again for your time and consideration, and I am here for any additional questions.
Can you describe the network again that you're creating, the LTE communications network? Is that proprietary by subscription, or is it, does it
So it's not a public system.
public? So the benefit is to LCRA.
The benefit is to LCRA and our customers that are a part of that system.
Okay.
So Smithville could possibly be one of those on the utility side if y'all chose. There are different ways to be a part of that.
Anybody else have any questions for Elizabeth? I think you're good. Thank you. Mitch, you want to read your statement?
Thank you for giving further explanation from the standpoint of LCRA. And thank you to all the citizens who some think we listen and some don't. But as I've been contemplating the pros and cons and the questions and answers that have come up over the last few weeks about this, I'm intrigued by the differing sides. I mean, we've gotten different answers from different sides depending on what position you want to take in this. So some of the information is a little bit conflicting, but finally I came to the realization that while a lot of these points that have been made are valid, my priority and my obligation is to represent my constituents on the Hill. And the overwhelming majority of feedback is opposed to this project. I'll go even further. Not one single person has come to me and said, please vote in favor of this. Therefore, I will be voting in opposition to this program. The LCRA has always been a great partner to us in the city of Smithville. And part of being good partners is to work together to solve each other's needs. So I hope that we can move forward, move away from this, and find yet another solution. But to me, this one won't work.
Where do you can make a motion and.
I'd like to say something, please. I concur with Mitch. I don't need to repeat what he said is pretty much what I wanted to say. You know, every single day we're seeing changes in our lives and more threats and more risks on every level, on every front, and it's frightening. So my thought, given that both sides have very good points that they've made, I too feel like my obligation is to the people that live in this city. And we have, Edward's given me a number, roughly 100 people live up on the hill, maybe more. Jenny has said it's a little more than that. But the bottom line is, if everyone living up there is upset and feels threatened by something like this, and while LCRA is a wonderful partner, certainly we want to continue that partnership and collaboration. But on this particular point, I will need to vote no on this as well. Thank you.
Well, can I just go down and roll call?
We need to make a
Do I
motion.
need to, does something has?
I wanted to say something real quick.
Well, I apologize.
No, the Hill is kind of a complicated area because the city limits are very piecemealed up there. And so, I mean, I mentioned in the last meeting that I was against using the parkland, and I absolutely still am by that principle. But I will also caution y'all, our city limits are really jagged, and someone can come in and find private property outside the city limits, adjacent to the city limits, and still put a tower up. So just kind of keep that in mind, that we have control over the city limits, but we don't have anything else. So just like most of the property along 95 towards the airport, it's outside the city limits. Things like that to kind of keep in mind of what do we want as a city to sculpt what it looks like and what it feels like. This is a perfect example. We can do this with the cell phone tower because we're asking to do it in the city limits. But if they find one of our neighbors outside, we have no say.
Mayor, would you entertain a motion? This will be in the form of a negative motion, just so everyone understands. Mayor, I move that we do not approve a resolution for a change in parkland use for LCRA agreement for self-supporting communications tower for only a 100-foot by 100-foot area.
You have the motion and a second. Roll call, Dunham,
Agreed.
Meek,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
Okay, so then that leads, since that was not approved, on number 13, no action. Okay, so number 13 will be no action taken. So then we go to, we're going to inform the consent agenda on items 14, 18, 19, 20, 24, and 25. Brandon, take it away. Oh, minus 14. So it'll be, go ahead, make the motion.
No, 14,
It's in there.
14 stay.
I said it correctly. Hey, Brandon.
We're making a motion to utilize consent agenda to approve items 14, 17, I'm sorry, 14, 18, 19, 20, 24, and 25.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Dunham. Where am I?
Yes.
Meek.
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
And that takes us to number 15. Discussion and action on authorizing expenditures from tax note per ordinance 2025-697. Do I,
Did we do 14?
14 was on here.
Okay, I
Uh-oh.
got you.
Does your mic not work today? Yeah.
There we go.
14 was on here.
And Mayor, to my knowledge, there's only one request, and I believe that's from our police chief. And I was under the impression he was in the hall waiting on this.
Well, if you want to just review it, it's, we approve police cars, on the tax note. Everybody has it in front of you. These are just the things that need to be added to the police car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
And then, yeah, it's just the things to be added to the police cars, and that's what we're gonna approve right now, correct?
Basically, all it does, and he can speak to it more if you have a specific question, but you authorized the purchase of 2 vehicles.
You're
This is taking the equipment from the old vehicles and installing it into the new vehicles. That's what he's asking for.
Or is this new?
Is that right?
Some of it's new, some of it's old.
There's a bill for 29,000.
9,000.
And that's the projection we had whenever we talked about it in the budget about the
I
outfitting.
thought we approved the purchase of vehicles and outfitting.
No.
No?
Okay, so this is the outfitting on 29,000.
Mayor, I'll
So
make a motion on this.
Take it.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we
Thank
approve
you.
out of which tax note?
It's the 2025.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve out of the 2025 tax note for the expenditures for outfitting 2 police cars according to this invoice from Just Warning Lights.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Dunham,
Yes.
Meek.
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
All right, now we're going on to number 16, discussion and action on appointment to the Parks and Rec Board to replace Mr. Wilkie. I think you have in your packet the people that signed up to be on the board, and I will make a motion for,
Anamika, can she approach and tell us about herself?
sure, do we have?
Anamika, can you come up, please, just for a moment? Thank you. Can you state your name and your address and tell us just a brief bit about yourself?
Good evening. My name is Annemieke Pot, previously known as Miss Pot when we were here at Planning and Zoning. I live in 309 Burn, recently moved to Smithville, and we are absolutely loving it here. I'm very passionate about sports and outdoors, and I will never turn a good game of pickleball down. I believe that parks and recreational programs is a great way to bring people together of all ages and abilities.
Yes.
And I'd love to support that through the Parks and Recreation Board. Thank you.
I make a motion to approve Anamika Pot for the Parks and Rec Board, but Parks and Rec, actually, it's advisory board to replace Chris Wilkie.
Before I second, Ms. Meek, I just wanted to state that I did attend the first meeting or the meeting last week and got to hear some significant contributions from Ms. Pot, and I wholeheartedly second the motion.
Thanks, Mitch. I meant to also add that I think we have a really good Parks Advisory Board. We have a diverse group. We have a couple of folks that have lived here all their lives. They're very familiar with the Parks and Rec Department being built from the ground up. We have a couple of new folks that haven't been here that long. And then we have you know, a couple of young folks too. So I'm really pleased and I think we're going to have really great things come out of this Parks Advisory Board. Thank you.
Okay, so I had
Motion.
Durgan and,
Most second.
and I think I'm, Dunham,
Yes.
Meeks.
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
Oof, okay.
I almost forgot his name.
I know, it's kind of like I have my Alzheimer's kicking in here, 18, 20.
Wow.
All right, we're on 21.
No, sorry.
No. Oh, 17, no. Oh, I did. Sorry about that. Discussion and action on an interlock cooperation agreement with Bastrop County for paving, hauling of dirt and sand to various locations and operational cost sharing of the brush dump. Jeremy, take it away.
So this interlocal cooperation agreement is more of a refresher. There has been a previously existing ILC that was in place. How this is amended is it adds a layer of agreement to the previous contract, thereby rewriting the previous contract. So what's being added is the joint use of the brush facility. The county does have a need for a more local location that they could take some of their brush to when they do have those, you know, when they do need to take that brush somewhere. They would maintain their brush as well as effectively split the costs with us to do any tub grinding or anything like that. So the agreement itself has been looked over by the attorney. He has no issues with it. And again, it's just an update to a previously existing contract, but just adds a few things that we're currently already doing. And just to be specific, so there's nothing left out, it is for the paving of Smithville streets, providing and hauling dirt for the Smithville Rodeo Arena, baseball dirt for the Smithville Little Leagues, and sand for the annual livestock show, and pro rata cost sharing of all operational costs associated with the management of the Smithville brush facility.
Will we recognize any cost savings from the efficiency, particularly on the tub grinding?
Absolutely. If they're paying half of the cost, yes.
That's great. Mayor, I'll make a motion.
ahead.
Mayor, make a motion that we approve the interlocal cooperation agreement with Bastrop County for paving, hauling of dirt and sand to various locations, operational cost sharing of the brush dump.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Dunham.
Yes.
Meek.
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
All right, so we did 18, we did 19, we did 20. 21, discussion and action on awarding a contract to a solid waste provider that submitted a request for proposals for municipal solid waste collections, disposal, recycling services, and for the city of Smithville.
Mayor, at this time, due to conflict of interest, I will be leaving. Thank you.
Well,
Why do we leave?
Councilman Dunham will have to go like 2 blocks down, so I hope somebody will go get, I know. Take it away.
So as it relates to the RFP, we've gone through an extensive process, some that required that we post meetings, that we have opportunity for input. I know Councilman Jenkins has been very active with this as well as have other council members. We put out a bid for our current trash service, which we're legally required to do. It's not because they haven't done an amazing job and I'm sure everyone has a different opinion, but from my understanding, they've done a great job. But nonetheless, we are required to go out to bid every few years, and we're at the point where we get to do that. So we received 3 bids. They were all received within the deadline, and they all conformed to the bid requirements. What we ended up doing is we had a collection of employees that included our Public Works Director, City Secretary, a utility billing director, as well as myself. We scored these each individually without consulting with each other based on the characteristics that were important: cost, experience, quality of service plan, customer service, environmental and recycling, and innovative approaches and added value. After having gone through all of the bids received, and after scoring and averaging those bids, it is obviously the council's decision, but the recommendation of our committee is that Texas Disposal Systems be awarded the contract. that is what we have, and I'd be happy to provide you with any other questions that you have. Any other answers to questions that you have?
Could you go through for the public, what that means in terms of service levels?
Yes. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to locate that sheet. So basically, yes, you handed it out last week, but basically we brought an overview of the positives associated with each bidder. There were a lot of strong characteristics that they all had. Familiarity as far as our current provider, and some unique approaches that we could utilize, with TDS being, for example, one of those, which allows them to utilize C-Click Fix to kind of allow reporting issues. They were all amazing bids, but ultimately it came down to the best cost as well as the services and the customer service option. So I don't have that sheet in front of me to run through it. We did print it off for the last meeting, and I thought we printed it off here, but I can't locate it.
Want to let TDS come up and talk
And-
about some of it? Are we, I'm just asking the question.
Well,
Well, what people are going to be interested in is this once a week service?
that's right.
That's what we want to explain, that just the top line stuff, not,
Correct.
that's the question we're going to get. What did y'all do? Did we keep twice a week or did we go to once a week?
At this point, every bid that has been received is a once-a-week option.
And I think that's a great clarification for the public. All three bids only offered once a week service.
And the recycling is every other week.
Correct. Yes, sir.
And there are also some little bitty things there that need to be pushed out to the public on whoever we choose here, that will need to be pushed out through mailers and stuff of the other little things that they option, like hazardous waste pickup at the door, all those kind of things. So
Correct.
they're good. And they have apps, which
Mhm.
a lot of people like. You can do everything right on your phone.
It also will connect to the existing app we have, C-Click and Fix, which is an existing app that everybody is familiar with here in Smithville, and they will be able to, it'll be one app.
Yes.
You don't have to download a whole separate app, that it will be compatible with the existing app that we have here.
And the document, the bid submitted for the winning bidder would be available after it's awarded. But my understanding is that the other two bidders would not be public information. Is that correct?
It's all confidential.
Until after. Yeah.
Yes, it's all, it's
And
all.
that's for the cost as well, correct?
Yes. So all the information will be available to the public.
You need a motion?
Yes.
I make a motion that we accept the bid from Texas Disposal Systems for our trash contract.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Dunham has removed himself. Meek,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
It is approved. Okay, so then we go to number. We gotta do who? Oh, I forgot about him.
He's out having some dinner. Did you go get some dinner?
Okay, now we're back. Hi, Judy.
Hello.
Discussion and action on library board appointment reappointments.
And before I start with who I want to ask that you appoint to the board, I want to give a shout out to the two people that are leaving the board right now. They've served their term, served their tenure, and they even served a little bit longer because during the COVID break, when the board pretty much broke down, they were willing to stay on as we got the new board members on board and able to function as a very competent and helpful advisory board. So Dennis McGinnis, who was very active in our technology advising. He was also serving on the expansion committee and the materials collection reconsideration, and very valuable. And then Crystal Gutierrez was very active in programming, library programs and things like that, because she is a librarian herself. So she knew a lot about what we were doing. And I'm happy to have recommendations for two people that can help fill some of those gaps. Lance Schreiner, who I know he said in his application that he's never served on a board before, but he has come to the library and said, I would like to start this program. I would like to coordinate this program. And it's an ever-growing monthly program, film club. And so he gets it, what goes on with library programming, and he's been very helpful. So I think he'll be a good addition to the board. Anamika Pot is, she has a background in training technology and things like that. And so in speaking with her, I think she will fill in that gap as well and help. And hopefully you guys will approve her sitting on 2 advisory boards for the city. And then David Edwards is the reappointment that I would like to have. He will be starting his first full term because he came in as replacing a vacancy for an unexpired term at the death of one of the other board members.
When does your board serve? What day of the week?
The board serves 3-year terms. There are 9 board members, so every year I will be here with board appointments.
No, I'm sorry. What days of the week? I just want to make sure there's not a conflict with the other board.
Oh, currently it is the last Wednesday of every odd-numbered month, so it's 6 times a year that we meet. So
Last Wednesday of every odd numbered month.
yes, so
Adele?
No, make me,
She,
thank
I-
you.
I make a motion that we approve Lance Schreiner and Anamika Pot and reappoint David Edwards to the library board.
I'll second that.
Motion been made in second. Dunham,
Yes.
your name again, Meeks,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
What a fun day. Okay, so we did number, where are we?
We're at 23.
23. Here we go. Discussion and action on appointment, reappointment to the Bastrop County Advisory Board of Health. Miss Cassidy, just come up, introduce yourself.
Yes, ma'am, she should.
We were on red. Hi, my name is Cassidy Penn. I have kind of been a lifelong resident of Smithville, but just recently moved back in 2022. I am a master's degree public health student of UT Austin, Hook'em Horns. And I have had the great pleasure of representing the city of Smithville on the board for the past year. And I would really love to continue that work. We've made great strides in the last year, bringing a free mental health resource to the entire county, which I'll just put out a little reminder. Let's get that on the Smithville website, called Credible Mind. Again, it's free, and it can be confidential if you choose not to create an account, but you can also create an account and get more resources. We've also finally secured a building for the Public Health Department in Bastrop, and we will be soon launching our immunization as well as access project for 2026. So I look forward to, with y'all's vote, being able to continue that work.
Give me a motion.
Thank you, Cassidy.
Thank
You've
you
been
for all
doing
your
a
hard
great
work.
job.
Thank you for all your hard work.
I'll give you a motion.
Give me a motion.
Okay. I make a motion on the reappointment of Cassidy
Ken.
Penn to the Bastrop County Advisory Board of Health.
Second that.
Motion been made in second. Dunham,
Yes.
Meek,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. And if you ever have a problem with the name, just call me Rhodey and I'll turn around. Okay.
And you make great cinnamon rolls. Whoever needs cinnamon rolls, just call her. She delivers. And on that note, we're adjourned.